So we've now wrapped up how the president can act and some of their powers in terms of action, and we're going to look at what is it that they are trying to act on. We're going to look at the president's program. There are lots of different perspectives. Not everyone agrees, such as our little friends here in the cartoon, definitely disagreeing on shapes there. Very heated conversation. As you can tell, they're using hand gestures. So a couple of different examples of perspectives. We have Reagan. Reagan's big programs were all about tax cuts and larger military expenditures. Keep in mind, Reagan was president during the Cold War. And Reagan really concentrated on a few areas, a few themes, and left the rest to subordinates. Remember back, which structure did Reagan have as far as his White House office? That is correct. He had a pyramid structure, which makes sense that he would be willing to let things trickle down, etc. The president's program, you have FDR and the New Deal. You are taking or have taken American history and are familiar that was FDR's attempt to fix the problem of the Great Depression. He definitely expanded government, and that was really kind of a transition in when we ask the question, who should solve our problems, that FDR certainly would have answered the government, and thus the New Deal. Another perspective is Carter and Clinton, who had programs on almost everything, which makes sense because, as you recall, what type of structure was it that Carter had? Yes, very good, circular. So we had lots of people coming in and out, in and out. And Clinton was ad hoc. One of the influences and resources on a president's program is certainly interest groups, that they're always trying to lobby them, lobby presidents to a particular way. Other influences would be aides, campaign advisors, federal departments, agencies, various specialists. But there are a lot of people really competing for the attention of the president in order to somehow change or modify the president's perspective and program. This picture is here to show you two different things. First of all, why English is important, and you should work on knowing how to spell things. Cats are cute, spelling errors aren't. It's also there to serve as a reminder that as much as the president wants to get something done and to do something, that there are constraints. There are things that hold the president back. Those things would include public reaction as well as congressional reaction, limited amounts of time and attention for this. And think about how recently Obama had begun to turn his attention toward Wall Street, and then with the passing of the Arizona immigration law, that it seems as though the attention has now shifted to immigration as opposed to Wall Street. It should be interesting to see what happens there. Another constraint on the president's program would include unexpected crisis. Federal programs and budget can only be changed a little bit. And oftentimes when a new president comes in, the former president had set the budget in advance. In an attempt to gain power and to institute programs to cut government spending, etc., many presidents have tried to reorganize the executive branch. And much like all of these wonderful pictures show, you can organize something, and I know you guys know this. You organize something, but that organization might only last so long. An example of an attempt to reorganize the executive branch would include George W. Bush's Homeland Security reorganizations. Homeland Security previously fell under a number of different agencies, including, but not limited to, the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the National Security Administration. And all of these agencies could be overwhelming. And especially when we look back on 9/11, there were people who were very critical that there was this information about the plans, etc. And so they wanted to streamline things into the Department of Homeland Security. And it's much easier to change policy through reorganization than through getting rid of an old program or an old agency. It's hard to get rid of things. It's better to reorganize them. Think about your book bags. You don't want to get rid of your AP government stuff until after the end of the course. It's better not to get rid of that, but rather just to organize it, hole punch it, put it in a binder or a folder. Moving our focus in the executive branch to a more specific area, we come to the area of the Vice President. What exactly does the Vice President do? It's unclear in the Constitution, and it's really left up to individual presidents. Here you see former Vice President Dick Cheney, perhaps one of my personal favorite vice presidents, and this is his official picture, and I love that half smile. It just makes me laugh every time. According to the Constitution, what the Vice President does is to preside over the Senate and to give the tie-breaking vote in the event of a tie. However, that's very rare. The Vice President doesn't even usually attend the Senate unless it's a very distinct possibility that a vote will end in a tie. And in a divided government, the Vice President presiding over the Senate is particularly weak.